Alright everybody, welcome back to the KSR YouTube channel. Look who decided to finally do another video. Me. Yeah, it's been a little bit, obviously, since I've edited a video, but we may have finally gotten through some stuff and actually be able to put a little more content up on YouTube. Yeah, we'll see. I'm not going to make any promises, but we're going to put in some more effort here on the KSR YouTube channel here to wrap up 2023 and get us into 2024. It's kind of a gloomy, overcast day here in Florida. It's actually been raining quite a bit lately. I don't know if that's, I can't remember if that's common for this time of year or not. Life's been a blur lately. So let's go check out the shop, give you guys an update and tell you what we got going on possibly later today. Ooh, I look really bright in that light, but let's get to the shop. All right, well, hopefully this thing's recording. It didn't beep at me when I started the camera. That's new. So, got a few things different here. Got a 302 in progress for a customer. An LS that we finished up over there. Check this out. We've got a V10 out of a Viper. Actually, it's out of a Viper truck that we are going to freshen up for a customer. He said it started to develop a knock, so we're going to dig into that and see if we can figure out what we've got to do to get that fixed. Oh, first, what's going on today? I think, if I'm right on when this video is going to come out, tomorrow is going to be the 2.4 hours of lay mullets down at the Freedom Factory. If you guys didn't already know, I'm driving in that again this year. This year, though, I don't have my normal driving partner, Taylor Ray. Taylor had a drift event. I think it's like a week-long drift event, back the last time him and I talked, and he's not gonna be there. So, I am paired up with Clay Milliken, Top Fuel racer, 3-time NHRA Top Fuel winner this year alone. Guy goes 0 to 330 plus miles an hour in less than 5 seconds. That's fast. That's real fast. I can't even think about that. It might even be less than 4 seconds. I don't know, it's mind-blowing. My car goes 150, Soccer Mom goes 150 to the 8th mile. He's going almost 300 to the 8th mile. Whew, that's gotta be a whole nother experience right there. But I don't believe that Clay has done any circle track racing. And up until a couple years ago, I really hadn't done any circle track racing. Now, I had done quite a bit of circuit racing, like road racing, endurance road racing on cars equipped with street tires, kind of similar to what the Crown Vic setup is. So, as you guys have seen, most of the time, I do pretty well. There's been a couple exceptions to that rule, but I've led, I believe, the most laps of anybody in any race at the Freedom Factory. Like if you add up all the races combined, I'm the lap leader of all the races combined, I think. And that's not including the 24-hour thing that Cletus and I did. Go back and look at all the, you know, the Indy 800 and the Bristol 1000. Actually, I've yet to lead a lap at Bristol. I got within 2 feet this year, which is another video that I still have to do, I will admit. I also have my Indy 800 video to edit. And that is actually something I'm gonna get back to in just a second. But for this weekend, I'm actually going down on Thursday, which I think is when this video is gonna be coming out. I'm going down early. I'm gonna surprise some people in the Cletus McFarland driving experience. And then later that afternoon, I'm going to be doing some coaching with Clay. Should be able to bring you guys a video on that too. Clay's a good friend. We're gonna have some fun. Kind of teach him some of the things, or at least explain to him some of my methodologies for why I've had success. A little spoiler alert, at the Indy 800, I think I was the only driver that did not have to pit to take a right front tire, and on lap 2 I was dead last by a full straightaway. So drove from dead last all the way to first, saved the tire, which I feel like is really important for having success in those races. This weekend, the Les Mullets deal, especially with the kidney bean shape, it's a totally different thing. Like, tire wear is still important, but with the right-hand turn thrown in there, things are not exactly the same. And they typically fill those big barrels with water, and we end up running into them and splashing water all over the track. So things get weird. It might rain. I love racing in the rain. I know it's not great from a spectator standpoint, but I absolutely love endurance road racing in the rain. I've done it at Daytona, I've done it at Sebring, I've done it at Road Atlanta, Virginia International Raceway. It's amazing because it really makes you focus on keeping the balance of the car balanced on the tire. Anyways, I'm going off on a tangent about road racing and all that stuff. So tomorrow afternoon, possibly today, by the time this video comes out, we'll be down there working with Clay at the Freedom Factory. See if we can get him to, he's gonna have to stomp on the loud pedal, but then we're gonna have to lift off the loud pedal. We can't just hold it down for the whole lap. Gonna have to see what we can, see if we can get him to get used to doing that, so we can see if we can do well. But this year, Les Mullets has got an all-star field, just like, you know, in years past, it's been great. I feel like it gets ratcheted up every year. We've got Jeremy McGrath this year. I mean, I grew up watching that guy race motocross. Absolute legend. Brian Deegan, Travis Pastrana, Haley Deegan, loads and loads and loads of other racers. I think the Hunt the Front guys are gonna be there. They've run really well at Bristol. They're used to the circle track stuff. And then guys like JH. JH has been stepping it up, although he's got Garza. Garza threw me under the bus on the podcast too. In Cooper's podcast, you guys go watch it. So we had, so Garza and JH were on Cooper's podcast. Garza said I was a wrecking ball. No. Aside from one big thing, for the most part, I've gotten wrecked more than I have wrecked other people. And to be honest, contact when you're running at the front, especially when the cars are all equal, it's not going to be uncommon. And it's exciting for you guys as the fans. Now, unfortunately, I've been on the bad end of some contact. Kurt Busch spinning me out to win Les Mullets 2 years ago. This year earlier at the Freedom 500, I did kind of come across Travis Pastrana's front bumper. Kind of my fault. Thought I was clear, and I wasn't by about 6 inches. So when I moved up the track to get in front of him to get the best arc on the next corner, well, there was his bumper in the way, and that nosed my car into the wall. Still fought back to get back to second, and then had some more contact. Old buddy Brent came diving under me there, and I ended up in another wreck there, but hopefully we can avoid that this year. We'll see. But anyway, let's get to what's going on in the shop. Catch you guys up on some stuff. Tell you what else we got going on. What's going to be coming up soon. I guess one thing that's missing. Still got my Cutlass up here. Not much has happened with the body, but the frame's not here anymore. I actually sold the frame to a local friend. He's putting it in his Monte Carlo, and then he's going to be doing some racing with it. So I'm excited to get started on this. Hopefully it's going to kind of be my winter project, but we'll have to see. things have been super busy with me behind the camera lately, or off camera, I guess you could say. Between kids, I've mentioned in earlier videos that my youngest daughter is in competitive travel gymnastics. She's doing awesome. She's won the all-around competition in all 5 of her events so far this season. Love my little girls. So that's exciting to see that. Her next competition is state finals, and that is in, I think, 2 weeks. So we'll be traveling down to that somewhere around Tampa, I think. Anyways, we're excited about how good she's been doing. And that's been one of the things that's kept me kind of away from YouTube, because like I've mentioned before, YouTube stuff is not my main thing. My main thing is this shop, because I've got to keep this shop moving forward, rolling jobs through, helping our guys out in the shop, because this is where our income comes from. Sure, there's some income that comes from the YouTube stuff, but typically that allows me to leave the shop and go down to events like, you know, like when I did the 24-hour thing. It didn't hurt too bad because I got some YouTube income back. So kind of what YouTube allows me to do, some extra fun stuff. It's great that you guys follow along with us, see what all we've got going on, you know, kind of checking up on me on YouTube and Facebook, sending messages, checking up on us and making sure we're still around, still getting things done. But that's, like I said, that's our primary thing. And you can see we've got another Corvette over there. That one's in for some fuel system stuff, as well as, like, we're doing an injector swap. It's got a supercharger on it. Gonna be doing some tuning work on that. You can see we've got a wrap on the front fenders. But yeah, rewiring the fuel pumps. It had a booster pump set up on it. I'm not a fan of those. Just put it out there right in front. Not a big fan of them. I've seen some of them fail, and I would rather put the appropriate size fuel pump in the car. This car, we're going to upgrade the stock fuel pump to most likely the Hellcat pump, because this car should make 700-ish wheel horsepower once it's done. We're going to put like a, you know, the Hellcat 525 Walbro pump in it. That should be a good pump. Get in there. So these 2 bays have been rolling quite a few jobs through. We've been working on this Grant's Corvette project here as time has allowed. Kind of been waiting on some parts. You guys can see we've got the headers back. We did the same wrap on them that Taylor Ray did on his exhaust on his drift car. We only did it right to here. The exhaust, the Y pipe down there is going to get wrapped with this stuff, some DEI exhaust wraps, the black titanium stuff. If you guys are ever doing this kind of wrappy stuff, don't get the fiberglass stuff, because you will itch for days. Make your arms all break out, whatever else you get the stuff on you. I made the mistake years ago of working with that stuff and wiping something on my face. It was a bad day. So this stuff doesn't itch like the fiberglass stuff does. And they say it's made from like pulverized lava rock or something, which, I mean, that's kind of cool. It's also more, I think it's sturdier than the fiberglass stuff. Almost looks even like, kind of like carbon fiber. Anyway, this is primarily Eddie's workspace over here, so I'm not going to mess that up too much. But you can see also that all the EGTs are set up and wired. We've got all of the injectors wired up, coils wired up, drive-by-wire throttle body. Working on radiator setup now, as well as the oil cooler and power steering cooler lines. So with this being a dry sump, we did the Earl's Ultra Pro, which has now been discontinued, or at least a lot of the Earl's Ultra Pro stuff has been discontinued. Kind of sad about that, not gonna lie. Sorry, Holly. I really, really like that hose and fittings and all that stuff. But anyway, I'm actually going to run down, we don't have a crimp machine yet. It's something we're working on getting into the budget for 2024. So I'm gonna go down and use the one that Cletus has got down at the McFarland Racing Shop. I've done this before on like some of the fuel lines that I did for Soccer Mom, as well as some of the other cars that we've done along the way, because I had his crimper here when I built Mullet, and we don't do a ton of crimp lines, although that may be a service we offer for, you know, outside customers if we can get a crimper here at the shop. So I'm taking some lines down with me that are going to be the lines that run from the pump to the dry sump tank back to the pump, pump to the oil filter housing. This is a thermostatic oil filter housing from Improved Racing. So until the oil gets to temperature, it just loops through here. Once it gets to, I think it's 180 degrees, it starts to flow out to the cooler, then back, and then from here across and feeds in the back side of the engine. So that's coming along good. We've put shock sensors on every corner of the car. We also did some kind of special hubs, because this car is going to have Bosch Motorsport ABS, which is what that box is, and that has something to do with it there. There's a dial, there's all sorts of stuff that makes the Bosch ABS work. But this car is going to have a lot of data on it. It's a lot of busyness. These cars take up a lot of hours in wiring them, plumbing them, especially to engineer things for a way like this car is going to be, you know, like an endurance road race car. So we've tried to do things to protect from heat. The oil lines are going to have a heat sleeving over them where they pass through here, even though they're wrapped, the headers are wrapped. Doing some different things with ducting for the front bumper, which the front bumper I think is out back somewhere. It's got a carbon fiber front bumper, carbon fiber hood. Not that hood, it's actually another hood. But this is kind of a representation of where the splitter will be. So you can see we've tucked the radiator down there, and you might notice that the radiator is shifted that way. Well, we're trying to balance this car so that every corner, like the car's going to end up being, I think, 51% on the rear tires. So we were looking to try and get the rear tires equal weight with the driver in the car, and the front tires pretty equal weight with the driver in the car. Have to see if we can make that happen. So, just a process. Take some time. What else we got going on? This project here's been coming together slowly as the customer brings us money. It's one of our 5.3 iron block, kind of a mild deal. It's not quite as radical as what we had in Soccer Mom. Stock crank, iron block, where Soccer Mom's last stock block combination was an aftermarket crank, rods, pistons, aluminum block, aftermarket heads. These are 243 heads, but this thing should run pretty well. It's an old car that's been hanging around for a while in the back shop, and it was mine. I decided to sell it because I have too many race cars. It's a good problem to have, but I have too many race cars. So things are chipping away on this. Obviously we've got to make a pipe there. We'll have to make a pipe to connect that to the bottom inlet so that it blows through the intercooler. The windshields need a good polish. All that fun stuff. So I'm trying to think of what else we got going on. Morning.
Morning.
TJ's here.
Mr. YouTube man.
Yeah, not lately. The Ranger. I forgot the guys unloaded the trailer last night to get me ready to go down to Bradenton. The road race Lexus. which we filmed some stuff with that. Eddie and I have been going out to the local road racetrack called The Firm. We've been going out there and having some fun. His Miata, which is right there, it's a little wounded. He just heard it trying to catch me. We have a little rivalry going back and forth, which he's not here to defend himself, but you'll see it in the videos that we're going to get edited. So, got a twin turbo LS 4th gen Trans Am, and we have to do some chassis work to that car because I'll show it later. I am going to do a video on the Ranger, because if you guys didn't see, I won the Danger Ranger race, Danger Ranger 9000, again this year at Bradenton. So we've got a video to do on that, and I'm going to show you guys what it takes to build one of these Rangers, because they're going to be doing some more Ranger races next year, and we want more fast trucks to come out and race with us. Drew and I kind of ran away with the race this year, and unfortunately he started to slip his clutch at the end and actually spun me out on the last lap. Last corner, last lap. Hopefully that doesn't happen this weekend. Whew, I shouldn't jinx stuff like that. But anyways, yep, she's here ready to go. And I think I need to take that with me for the race this weekend. But looking at the video, I've kind of blabbed on enough here, and this is already a pretty long video. But we're going to be trying to do some more. The reason I can say that with a little bit more confidence is we've actually brought somebody on, kind of an intern through the University of Florida, who wants to help with stuff like that. He's going to help with our social media stuff, Facebook, Instagram, maybe even some TikTok stuff. I don't know. So we'll see how all that goes, and then he may be able to help me even edit up some YouTube videos. So that should be something kind of exciting here. But if you've stayed here till the end, you're probably already a subscriber. But if you're not, please subscribe to the channel. Click the like button, and that helps out with the YouTube algorithm and all that fun stuff. But I gotta go get started on the rest of my day. Anyways, thanks for watching. See you guys next time.